Yo, people, if you hear my voice sound samba, people, it's just because I feel as if sometimes you fight a losing battle, especially when you talk about, sorry, when you're talking about Jamaica football and it comes with a level of toxicity, right? Even when you think you're trying to push coaching education, you would have persons who are of the idea that you don't see it as viable. And that's not something that is true because I see it as viable. Case in point, right? Jamaica has produced five born Jamaicans, like born in Jamaica, developed. I would say four developed in Jamaica, possibly one quasi developed in Jamaica, and that would be Bibi Gardner, Teddy Johnson, Claude Davis, Luton Shelton, and then you would have Leon Bailey. Those five Jamaican born players have played in the Premier League at some point in time, with Leon Bailey playing in there now, Bibi Gardner having played in there the longest, and Luton Shelton and Teddy Johnson having doubled in it, right? And I think Teddy Johnson would have been one of the first, if not only player that came straight from the local league and went on loan to Bolton in the Premier League. So you can see the context in terms of if Jamaica was able to do that without having certain level of coaching education, then coaching education, I believe, would enhance the ability of a lot of these coaches in Jamaica to propel more kids into opportunities to become professional players and even playing at the highest level, and giving them an avenue of employability similar to those who are matriculating to become doctors, nurses, teachers, lawyers, etc. Right? So nobody should ever be against raising the standard of coaching, especially given the context of what we're seeing right now, where you have people coming out and saying that this man is coaching for long, and some feel as if I thought based on his experience he should be getting the qualifications automatically. I don't think so. What I don't think is that he should start from like the D level, as they would have done some level of coaching courses before. If he's to start from the D level, which is the grassroots level, and you know grassroots is unorganized non-elite football, whether it be adult or whether it be kids, right? And if he was to start from that level, then it would mean that whatever coaching badges or whatever coaching education that was being done before is absolute trash and garbage. They would have to admit that what they were doing before is garbage. And it's fine to admit if what you were doing before is garbage, you know. So you are implementing a new system to combat that and to challenge amongst the big boys in the world. Without coaching education, I do not believe Jamaica will be able to be competing against the likes of Mexico, US, Canada, and these countries, right? Costa Rica, Panama. We won't be able to challenge at even at the youth level, right? I wouldn't say necessarily at the senior level, because at the senior level there's a lot of recruitment and you're getting a lot of players that have gone through numerous coaching education. So those players would possibly give you an advantage because they would have gotten the necessary education in at the highest level. Some of them are coming from the English Premier League. A lot of them came through some of those top clubs that are playing in the English Premier League, even if some have not played in the English Premier League, but they have came through the academies like the Chelseas, the Man Cities, in the case of like even Joel Latibodier. So they would have gotten a certain level of coaching education that can allow us to compete against the likes of Honduras, the likes of Mexico, the likes of USA, the likes of Canada. But when you go down the level in terms of the U17, the U20, and you take persons who are not of that standard, yes, they might win some Manning Cup, they might win some Dakasta Cup because they're coaching amongst themselves, which it is similar, the playing field is similar in terms of the quality. So you will have a Jerome Wade coaching against Aleni Hyde, coaching against, dare I say, the man who is yet to present his license, Craig Butler. So you will have them competing against each other, and they might be successful against each other because they are similar minded like-minded and they have similar level of qualifications, if any, right? But when you go up into the international stage and to compete against the Mexicos, the Canadas, the USA, the Panamas, the Honduras and those countries, they will find it difficult to compete. We have seen it recently with Jerome Waite having that U20 team that 15, right? So you are seeing that they're going to be struggling. The only Jamaican coach that have taken a male team to the World Cup would have been Wendell Downswell. And I think this was 2001 and 2011. And if you look at Wendell Downswell's history, you would see that he's traveled the world. He's gone to the US, he's gone to Germany, he's gone to England, he's gone to Brazil in terms of his coaching education. So he would have been above the level of coaching education that a lot of these guys have. Case in point, he's the technical director at JFF. And possibly the reason for this is that he's the most qualified person to be in that position, right? And his resume precedes itself, right? Like some people say, his reputation precedes himself, because we have not yet seen any other Jamaican coach take a male youth team to the World Cup, to the Youth World Cup. Because as I said before, they're going up against other persons who are above them in terms of their standard. So on this channel, CC Sports Lab, with me being your OCC, I will always advocate for raising the standard of coaching in Jamaica, and I will always advocate when it comes down to coaching education and any type of qualification, because I'm for qualification. I'm not the typical Jamaican who feels that the mechanic at the roadside is better than the mechanic that has been certified to work on electrical engines and electrical batteries and all of those things. I am not that person. While I can understand that some of these persons might have learned the trade and gotten themselves up to a level, when it comes on to international standard and when it comes on to global standards, they are just not at that level. And you have to acknowledge that. And I will never advocate for somebody to not be at the level, right? Coaching license is something that is required. Coaching license is something that is necessary. Coaching license, as we have seen, and coaching education is something that has shown tangible success. Prior to the 2006 World Cup, Europe has never won the World Cup back-to-back since between 1950 and 1998. However, you would realize that they won it 06, they won it 2010, they won it 2014, they won it 2018, and then you would have the South Americans break that cycle with Argentina, and a lot of Argentine players are being coached in Europe. So you have seen the adaptability to the style and the adaptability to the different methodologies. So I can see it and I can understand it, and I will always advocate for it. So I'm just putting out this video to show that my argument has never been to fight against standards or to fight against qualification, as I know a lot of Jamaicans tend to do that, right? But tell me what your comments are in the comment section. This is CC Sports Lab. Please remember to subscribe if you are if you are like-minded and you like the content, then you can subscribe. If you don't like the content, it's fine, right? You can leave a comment, and nobody's